Hi guys, my name's Kel. I'm curator here up at Aussie Ark, and I'm going to tell you a bit about the reason why Tasmanian Devils feed in groups and the strategies we implement here at Aussie Ark to ensure that this is possible. We've been working with Tasmanian Devils for over a decade, creating an insurance population to help safeguard their future against the threats they're facing, such as devil facial tumour disease. And it's really important as we're doing this that we help maintain their natural behaviours as much as possible within this setting. One of the really important ways that we do that is in how we feed the devils. Tasmanian devils are a solitary species, but they eat carrion, dead animals that they find in the bush. And so because of that, they've developed an extraordinary sense of smell. They can actually smell a carcass from a few kilometres away. So one of the ways that we feed here at Aussie Ark is to cut up all of the meat into enough pieces for everybody in the enclosure. We drive around, we throw it into our big enclosures that are anything up to 5 hectares in size. And that encourages them to use their sense of smell in order to locate that food. But the other thing with that sense of smell means in the wild, if one devil smells a bit of food in the bush, chances are there's another devil that smelt it and another one. And so what happens is you actually get the devils converging on that one food source. So they're the sorts of interactions that we're seeing in the wild, and that's what we try and replicate here at Aussie Ark. Now to do that, when we're not doing our scatter feeds, we'll actually have one piece of kangaroo that is weighed out the appropriate amount for how many devils are in the enclosure, and we wire that up and put it on a star picker that's in the enclosure, and that encourages all those devils to come in and it forces them to engage in those natural social behaviours. We like to mix it up as well. Obviously in the wild, the environment is very random, and so we have multiple stakes in each enclosure so that we can move those feeds around and keep the devils guessing. Because the devils are coming together, feeding in these group situations, a lot of people do wonder, do they have a dominance hierarchy? But they are a solitary species, and they're a very nomadic species. They can travel 20 kilometres in a night looking for food. The result of this is that they're coming into contact with different individuals all of the time. Aside from that, they're not a pack hunter, they're a scavenge and feeder, so they're not having to work in that group situation to bring a prey animal down. The things that we see in Aussie Ark's enclosures where they don't have that dominance hierarchy is also reflected in the wild. That being said, there are different factors that do affect contest outcome. A female is less likely to feed alongside a male. She's maybe a little bit more likely to chase him off as she approaches or prevent him to coming to the food. Also, your smaller individuals, your younger individuals are more likely to chase off or come in really hard and aggressively towards your bigger, fatter, older males. Now, if you look at these two situations, the reason that they're fighting so much harder for the food is because of that extra need for resources. A young individual doesn't have fat reserves like an older male devil would, and so really needs every bit of food available all of the time. As well as a female, she could be pregnant, she could have joeys in her pouch or back at the den, and so she's feeding more than just herself, so her drive for the food is greater. Creating these different systems, moving things around, we are recreating the natural environment of Tasmania to ensure that our Tasmanian devils have the appropriate behaviours and they are conserved long into their future here at Aussie Ark. If you've got any burning questions or want to know the reason why we do the things we do here at Aussie Ark, comment below. Or if you want to help support Aussie Ark, head to aussieark.org.au, where you can also adopt a Tasmanian Devil.